to the Fantasy MLB DFS podcast with hosts John Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, everybody? John Impemba here with Mark Pitts, bringing you another edition of the MLB DFS Better Baseball Show here, breaking down the Wednesday 7 p.m. slate, 7 games here on a Wednesday. We get a little bit of a split slate, a couple of early games, a couple of late games here on the slate. Mark, how are we doing?
Doing good, man. 1 week of football in the bag, but we still have baseball, so let's get into the slate.
Mark, I got to say, you were sounding crisp today.
Crisp?
Sounding really nice, really strong. It's, that new mic you got working well.
Makes me happy.
Makes you sound so.
I want to be
so
heard.
Good. Yeah, you're gonna be heard nice and clear as we break down this 7 game. Before we get into it, though, we'll go to rtsports.com/alarm. Promo code alarm23. New users get a 100% deposit match up to $200. They have their weekly DFS contest open. You can also take part in their DFS pick'em contest there. So get any action over at RT Sports and use promo code alarm23 to get that deposit match today. Over on to the DraftKings main slate here. Mark, 7 games as we talked about. It's going to be a little bit of a quick breakdown. Hopefully the weather holds out. Again, East Coast expected to get hit. There's like multiple hurricanes on its way. I don't know if you've seen the weather reports. You and I both live, in Massachusetts here. So Yankees, Red Sox already had 1 game postponed. This game could be one that get impacts by rain. Arizona versus the New York Mets, also a game that could see some impact of rain here. So tune in at the 5 o'clock live stream. We'll have all the updated weather reporting for everybody here, but 7-gamer could be a 5-gamer, could see some early delays, some in-game delays. We'll have to check out and see how the weather report goes from there. Mark, let's just look at pitching. Let's get this in here. We have Snell, we have Gallen as your top 2 guys, 9,800 and 10-1. Snell going up against the Dodgers, Gallen going up against the Mets. Talk to me about your favorite top-end pitchers here.
Gallen all the way. I mean, he's been unbelievable. He's coming off a 44-point complete game shutout, 9 strikeouts, and now he gets the Mets, who, like, every week the offense just looks worse. So I like that spot. Snell, I really don't want to take someone against the Dodgers, but he's been really, really good. Did not expect him to survive the Astros, and he was fine.
Right.
I don't know what kind of ceiling he's going to have with the Dodgers, but I mean, if people aren't playing him, I like him a lot more. I just don't know how rostered he's going to be when he's
the tournament upside for him is great. If he just sort of, it's Mookie Betts, right? If the guy has a 600 ISO against, or 400 ISO against lefties. If he can just avoid, which nobody's been able to do this year, really just avoid the damage from Mookie Betts. It's a lineup that is tough, obviously, but manageable, especially once you get past, like Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, like that whole crew there. Certainly could be doable at a low rostership, like you mentioned. And then Gallen at 98 feels like a pretty good price tag for a guy that we've, at times paid up over $10,000 for. More recently, he's been at $11K as well. So, coming off of a complete game shutout, 9 strikeouts, and they have him down here at $9,800. So
they cut his price. It's a gift.
Right.
It's an absolute gift.
Opposite side of them, we have Ryan Pepiot against Snell there, 989. Kikuchi gets Texas and Montgomery on the other side against Toronto at 84. Then we have Hunter Brown at 82. The pitchers in this series for Houston have been pretty chalky. Hunter Brown, though, nearing in on a 5 ERA. His second half has been absolutely abysmal. Last 10 starts, he's got an ERA over 6. He have 6 over 4 1/3. If the field is playing Hunter Brown, are you more likely to fade or follow, Mark?
I mean, it depends how many lineups I'm making. If I'm making like 10 or more, I'm sure I'll throw him in one, but I really don't. I really don't want to play him. I mean, he's not going deep in games. He's got 4 innings, 5, 2. I mean, if 20% or more are going to roster him, I'm completely fine letting them do so and just possibly taking some Oakland batters on the other side.
We have Clevenger. You and I were talking a little bit before we jumped on. Every other start for him has seemingly been pretty good. 7 shutout against Chicago, 7 1/3 with 10 Ks against Oakland, 7 shutout, 7 Ks against Detroit. But coupled in between there is a Detroit start where he gave up 8 earned, a Seattle start we gave up 4 earned. We rode Kansas City for a little while, but their decline has been pretty apparent here. Does Clevenger feel like a safer play for you on this slate?
I do have some interest. I mean, at any point, Kansas City can wake up and just hang 10. We've seen them do it a million times. But, I mean, 7 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts. He's going deep. I mean, it depends what side we get on his performances, but I wouldn't exactly call it safe, but I definitely like it, like the spot.
Yeah, I think the spot is for sure the appealing on a 7-game slate as well. Because again, we're gonna get down to it. There's not like there are slates where there's like very obvious plays that we're like, all right, this is the matchup we want to target. I feel like there are potential flaws for a lot of pitching matchups on this slate here. So trying to pick and choose where maybe the soft spots are, like Hunter Brown feels like a soft spot, but he's kind of sucks. Like Clevenger feels like a soft spot and he's pitching well, but we haven't loved pitching Clevenger for a lot of this year. It's been more recent. So you get by Clevenger, you have Garrett against Milwaukee. Like maybe, there's a point where we could play lefties against Milwaukee pretty confidently. Tanner Houck against New York. Again, the Yankees aren't really hitting righties. Houck could be a guy at 68. But where else, if anybody on this slate, do you feel comfortable with?
That's really it. I mean, Clark Schmidt, he's been up and down, but I'd say his price is fair. I mean, he gets smoked by lefties, and the Red Sox have plenty of those, but there's also weather concerns, so I don't know how confident I'm taking him. But, I mean, compared to everyone else, like, there's few and far between. Clevenger and Brown are, like, SB2s unless you're double spending. I don't like pretty much anybody below that.
Yeah, I feel.
I mean,
I'm not going to play Blackburn. I'm not going to play Blackburn. Not going to. Not going to go Luke Casey. He looked good against St. Louis, obviously. There's a point in time where Luke Casey was actually a pretty okay starting pitcher in his career, but feels like a risk.
He's also going against Gallen, so
right. No win equity there. Miami's been better against lefties and righties, but like Colin Ray isn't appealing. So I'm with you. There's really not a lot on this slate. It'll be pretty interesting to see which way it goes. And if weather comes into play and they like knock out Gallen and like knock out this Red Sox Yankees, like I don't know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, at the bottom like 6 guys, I think Schmidt is the only one I could see like having 20 points. I really can't make a case for anyone below him to have 20 fantasy points.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the thing is that we talk about, the lefties are the one that do damage to Clark Schmidt. If you look at the Red Sox lineup, they're going to throw 6 lefties at him.
Yes. So not a good spot, but
not a great spot. No, not at all. Let's get into the catcher and infield positions here. A lot of lefties are on the mound. So like Will Smith against Snell, not a traditional matchup we'd want for Smith, but does hit lefties really well. William Contreras hits lefties really well. Gets Garrett. Mitch Garver hits lefties really well. As you say, Kikuchi here. And then we talked about with Clark Schmidt's issues against lefties, you have Reese McGuire as someone that will hit from the left side. That's been pretty okay. Alejandro Kirk hits lefties well. He gets Jordan Montgomery. So there's a lot of correct split matchups at the catcher position.
Yeah, and I find myself just going all the way down to Reese McGuire 2,200. I don't really feel the need to spend up. I mean, Garver, I like Garver a lot, but I mean, you can make a case for Yanni Diaz too. But I think you just spend down and save the money.
Yeah, Yanni is probably a good call because he does hit righties actually better than lefties, and we're going up against Blackburn. So I'm probably with you. If I had to pick 2 on the slate, Yanni or Diaz 1, and probably just the punt play down there for Reese McGuire for me. And I guess we'll see what the lineups come out. Maybe Victor Caratini finds his way into a lineup. He's hit lefties pretty well at times. $2,700 could be convinced to go that route as well.
Jonah Heim homered yesterday, so
yeah,
just throwing him out there. He's also an option.
Yeah, he is a little bit cheaper. They play both catchers, so they're both going to be in the lineup for sure. At the first base and just in general infield position here, mentioned the lefties. Tristan Casas had 3 hits on the first half of first half of the double header here, recording while the second game is going on. So we'll see how Casas finishes the evening, but continue to roll out Casas with confidence.
Yeah, I love all these Boston bats. It's the weather again. I mean, the game could play, it could not play.
If you're not going Casas, I imagine Christian Walker's on your board.
Yeah, Christian Walker gets a lefty. He hasn't had a hit in a couple games here, but It's the right side of his splits, and Lucchesi is not great, not amazing. So and he's 4,600. I like that price.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Good pivot off of him if Casas isn't in there. Trying to see. I've been playing Abreu again, just getting in that lineup. The RBI totals for him, 15 RBI over the last 10 games. I know, obviously, had his hit streak come to an end on the Monday slate. We'll see how he does during Tuesday's matchup there with JP Sears on the mound, but just be willing to continue to play Abreu while he's hitting well.
Sure. I'd also throw out where is he? 27. Garrett Cooper. I mean, I like Pepio.
Yeah.
But I mean, Garrett Cooper's always 2,700, and I think you can always play him. I don't think it matters if you're looking to spend down.
I'm trying to see if there's other values down here. You mentioned Cooper already. I mean, is
Gavin Sheets.
Prado doing anything? No, Prado's not doing. Yeah, Gavin Sheets is always a home run play against Marsh for sure. Yeah, $2,400. I like that. That's a good call out. I like that one for sure. Let's see. Nothing else that really sticking out to me. Oh, I mean, Bell against Ray. Did you mention him?
I didn't. I was thinking Arraez. I don't really ever play the guy, but he's going against Colin Ray, who is allowing, what is it? 5.10 slug to lefties.
Yeah. So. Well, that's why I went Josh Bell. He's cheaper at 38.
That works.
Has some power there. So yeah, I think the mid tier we can live, and Christian Walker for the spend up. You know, if you wanted to use Freeman or maybe even to tempt Vladdy against Montgomery, like you could, but Walker cost his top two spends for me. Bell, Abreu in the mid tier, and then Sheets for me probably is the punt to catcher at first base rather. Second base position here, bets against Snell will be popular. Semien against Kikuchi probably. Davis Schneider had some ridiculous numbers against lefty, and he gets Montgomery here.
Yeah, they did bump his price up. He's now 5,200.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's the split you want 5,200, and I throw Geloff out there, considering how bad Brown has been, and Geloff's been really good against righties on the year. 4,800.
I like that. I mean, again, he slowed down for a little bit, but starting to pick it back up. And I mentioned it's the Hunter Brown experience right now is not in his favor. So Geloff could be pretty good. You have Ketel Marte versus lefty at $4,800. Feels pretty decent there. Ronnie Mauricio, I know it's against Gallen, but he's $3,500. Emmanuel Valdez, he'll probably be in the lineup, I would imagine.
Was it 3,100?
Not the option him. Oh, they sent him down today. Unbelievable. Pablo Reyes. No, Pablo Reyes got reactivated off the IL.
Killer. Just one less lefty.
One less lefty. No kidding. That's surprising. That is surprising. Well, Pablo Reyes is in the lineup. I don't mind him. He was hitting the ball really well before he got hurt. So could give him a little bit of a peek there.
3,400, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably it for value at second base, though. Anything else for you?
I mean, he hasn't been great. Well, he's been okay. Michael Massey, if you don't believe in Clevenger.
Sure.
He's cheap. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Third base position, not to be repetitive, I gravitate towards Devers, but that game may not play. Muncie's another guy that hits lefties really well, but he's got Blake Snell. So where do you find yourself maybe looking to go?
I mean, I think you can always play Bregman. Don't really care who the pitcher is. Guy's a stud. And then I'd say Justin Turner. I mean, he's been great all year. He just doesn't stop. Doesn't matter if he's 39 years old. Jake Berger as well.
Always a home run threat.
Yeah. Was he 31 home runs? Like, it's exactly what Grande says. Like, he's going to hit maybe 40 home runs, and no one cares.
He'll hit 40 home runs with 75 RBI.
Yeah.
No one's ever on base for the man. Let's see.
Below that, I mean, I didn't find much at third base.
There really isn't much at third base here. We'll have to wait and see till lineups come out, I guess. I mean, Longoria, really struggling, but has hit lefties well for his career. So maybe you'll take a stab there. That's probably it, though.
Yeah, it's really empty down there.
Shortstop gives us Steger, Bobby Witt, Bo Bichette. Lindor. I think Bichette versus Montgomery is pretty decent.
I like that. I like where was it? I think I was just locking in Bobby Witt. I mean, he's your favorite player, and he's coming off 20 points, 22 points. Clevenger's. I mean, it depends what Clevenger we get, but
Yeah, the stolen bases obviously are huge for Witt here. If he's not having power, he gets on. He needs a steal to pay off $5,800. You know, if you're not getting homers, stolen bases have to be there. Another guy that's going to go 30-40 this year, just like a absurd amount of talent and guys going off in fantasy. Bobby Witt for sure is a pretty decent threat.
I also like Willie Adames.
Yeah.
Is it home versus a righty?
It's home versus righties, but again, I mean, he's hot right now. So you can kind of give him a look.
He still has like a 190 ISO against
lefties.
Yeah, so and he's got 2 home runs in the last 3 games.
Yeah, the power's always been.
Oh no, it's 2 in the last 5.
If they place it on Rafaela, I'll just keep rolling him out there. I don't know if they will. He played both ends of the doubleheader on Monday rather. What did they say? On Tuesday, he did. And he actually led off the night game with a homer off of Rodon. So if they play him, I will play him as well at $2,900. Super talented guy. Again, I know it's not the lefty split against Clark Schmidt, but it could be a good spot there for him. Is Jordan Lawler a lefty? He isn't. So Jordan Lawler has struggled since being called up, but he was like, the number 5 prospect in baseball or something like that at the time. So $2,300 if he starts, if he's in the lineup. I'll just eventually he'll figure it out. Joey Lucchesi is not a great pitcher, so could get Jordan Lawler at a free price tag. And like you said, he's free now, but if he starts getting on a little bit of a hot streak, that price is going to start going up quick. So if Lawler finds himself playing against the Mets, I'd probably have some interest there.
Sure.
As well. Outfield. Talk to me about your top favorite outfielders, man.
Let's see. I mean, we already talked about Betts. You can play him. I mean, any Astro, like, doesn't matter who's pitching. If they're home or away, doesn't matter. You can play Jordan. You can play Tucker. You can play any of those guys. I really like Chisholm. Jazz, he's 5,000. And, I mean, Colin Ray has been really, really bad against lefties. Jazz hasn't been great lately, like last 5 games, but I do like that spot, especially if you're using Bell, a little mini stack there.
Yeah, I agree. Jazz is a pretty strong play. Has the power speed combo that we're always looking for. You have Yoshida and Verdugo you talked about there, 46 and 44, pretty strong options for us here. Brantley. Colby brought up Brantley the other day.
He called it too.
Yeah, he's got 2 homers. I mean, he's old, but he's playing well. So at $4,200 against Blackburn, I would just another left-handed outfield Houston guy we could play.
Yeah, I mean, getting as much exposure to that team, like any way you can, it's never a bad idea. It almost always works out. I mean, that doesn't matter.
What version of Astory Ruiz shows up against Hunter Brown? The power hitter version or the stolen base version?
He's probably going to hit a home run, probably out of the stadium, as he's been known to do.
A lot of strength in that, man. Lourdes and Pham, both 37, 36, get the lefties. Good spot for them there.
Do you like that? Where is it? Mark Canna?
So Mark Canna actually left tonight's game with an injury. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So we'll see. Because you're right, Canada against Garrett would be a pretty good spot for the righty-lefty matchup there. Rooker's always got power. Leotes hits better against lefties. So that could be a thing. Let's see.
What do you make of Melendez?
So, if you're not using Clevenger, I feel like I'm going to play Clevenger on this slate. So I probably won't have as much KC exposure. But if you're making multiple lineups, like I said, you and I like to play the 3 maxes a lot. 1 Clevenger, 2 Clevenger, 1 not Clevenger, and just get Melendez in there because he does hit either in the middle or the top of their lineup. So
right, I probably wouldn't go full bore, like full Royal stack, but a couple guys.
For sure. And then Weiler still on the team at 5 hits the other day. He's a lefty power guy, so he could be out there for Schmidt as well at $2,800. Trying to see if there's anybody
still 28.
Yeah, they don't touch him; they just leave him where he is.
Love that.
Probably it though for value outfielders for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, Joey Weimer could be a guy. He's only hitting 200, but he does 13 home runs, and his power does come against lefties. So could get him against Garrett.
Like that. And then, I mean, we already talked about Gavin Sheets is dual eligibility, so you can put him in the outfield.
Yep. All right, let's build a lineup here, Mark. We like Gallen, and like I said, I'm feeling Clevenger.
Clevenger? Yeah, let's do Clevenger.
Catcher here. Let's see if we can get Yanier, Brayu, the value guy we like down here. Second base. What did we have for second?
We had what price was it?
Where was our obvious value? Did we have like an obvious value player or no?
Well, I don't think. I mean, we had Reyes. You said you maybe would throw Reyes in, but I don't think. No, yeah, Valdez I think was going to be it, but he's.
Oh yeah, Valdez is going to be it. It's true. Trying to see where we could save money. We got 4K for the rest of the positions here. We definitely had some value. Let's play. Let's go with Weimer just for a punt in the outfield. Weimer against Garrett's 23. So that gives us $4,400 to play around with. What's our number one spend up on this slate, in your opinion?
In my opinion?
Yeah.
In the infield or just anywhere?
Anywhere. Who's your number one play? Put you on the spot.
That is tough. I mean, I really like Betts, but I like Snell's not awful, but it's Mookie Betts. But I don't think we're gonna go there. I don't know.
I'm down with going Betts. I mean, it could be different. Who?
I mean, I like Devers, but again, like the weather, like.
Well, we don't know the game's not going to go there. I'm down going Devers, and that'll get us 4,100. We can go Yoshida here. Yoshida's at 46. A 4K for a second, a shortstop, and an outfielder. You mentioned, let's see here. So probably have to go up a little bit.
4K.
Let's see. Marte is 48. So that's 36. Let's see. Let's go Jordan Waller. Jordan Waller is 23 against Lucchesi.
Like that.
And then a 5K outfielder. We could go Jazz. We could go Red Sox again. Go Verdugo.
I mean, I like Jazz better, but
yeah, I like Jazz. No, Jazz is better for me too. All right, so there we go. We got Gallen, Clevenger, Yanier Diaz, Jose Abreu, Ketel Marte, Rafael Devers, Jordan Lawler, Joey Weimer, Masataka Yoshida, and Jazz Chisholm. We got 2-man Boston, 2-man Arizona, 2-man Houston, with a one-off Miami play there and a one-off Milwaukee. So a one-off game stack of Miami, Milwaukee there. So not a bad lineup put together there. We have, again, the live stream coming at 5 o'clock, so make sure you tune in to that. Get all your questions answered throughout the day in the Discord and on Twitter. And for now, we will catch you all later, guys.